In recent times, the adventure tourer genre has really started to gather a lot of steam. Riders are finally starting to grasp the practicality and versatility of this type of motorcycle. These motorcycles are designed with a certain set of assets that makes them true globetrotters. They're designed to conquer a variety of landscape and terrain, and that's what makes them so special. Lo and behold, this beast right here is the Tiger 1200 Explorer from Triumph. And while Triumph has been making a bike called the Tiger from the late 1930s, the type of motorcycle has changed a lot over the years. And what we have here is the 2017 model, which looks quite cosmetically similar to the 2014 model. But let me assure you, a lot has changed under the surface. Let's face it, the Tiger Explorer is not quite the prettiest motorcycle out there. It's got a large, menacing front facade with the large dual headlights exuding a sense of ferocity that an adventure motorcycle should. The upswept, rugged jawline really adds to the whole predatory appeal of the Explorer. Now, adjusting the windscreen on the old bike was a rather cumbersome experience. However, this new electronically adjustable windscreen is just so much easier to operate. It's controlled via the toggle switches on the left switchgear. And the manner in which it adjusts the screen looks pretty cool too. Sitting just behind the windscreen is a triple pot LCD instrument cluster that has the menus on the left, a large central tachometer, and the speedometer is located on the right. The aggressive radiator shrouds then flow into an angular, well-chiseled 20-litre tank. The seat on the Explorer is nice and comfortable and should do well in placating its rider when covering massive distances. It gets an 837 to 857 mm adjustable seat, with the low height option being a very manageable 785 to 805 mm. Adjusting the seat height involves sliding the front seat off and slotting it into one of the two available grooves. The lower option is a rather inviting seat height, and moving the motorcycle during parking drills shouldn't be too much of an issue. The pillion seat is a well-cushioned, wide one which should also be rather comfortable should you choose to take a pillion along. The upswept silencer on the Explorer is absolutely humongous. It gets a simple, sort of rectangular shape, devoid of any drama. While viewing the profile of the Explorer, the silencer is swept at an angle that is parallel to the bottom of the subframe and lends a sort of flow into the minimalistic tail end. This houses nice thick grab rails and culminates in a vertical twin-strip LED taillight. This behemoth is extremely rideable because of the advanced electronic packages it now comes with. An area where the Tiger Explorer fell woefully short before, it now gets all the bells and whistles that keep it astride with the competition. It now gets a ride-by-wire throttle which allows it to have 3 riding modes: road, rain and off-road. The traction control, ABS and throttle response are adjusted accordingly. It also gets cruise control as standard. And, like the Ducati Multistrada Enduro, it now also gets cornering ABS and cornering traction control, thanks to a 6-axis inertial measurement unit. It now gets WP suspension with a 48 mm inverted fork at the front and a monoshock at the rear. The front gets electronically adjustable damping, while the rear gets a semi-active electronic damping setup. This suspension gets 119 mm of travel at the front and 194 mm at the rear. It's quite surprising how nimble this motorcycle is, despite its gargantuan 253 kg heft. It switches direction impeccably and its road manners are commendable. However, its weight is definitely noticeable when you're moving through city traffic. And the suspension stiffness can be adjusted independently from sport to normal to comfort on the go to suit the riding condition, which is a very helpful feature. The only time you'll need to stop is when switching into off-road mode, in which the traction control and rear wheel ABS is switched off. The heart and soul of this Tiger, however, is its motor. The fuel-injected 1215cc engine has double overhead cams with an inline triple cylinder layout. The 137 horsepower and 121 Newton meters of torque is directed to the rear wheel via a shaft drive that is very durable. Power delivery is smooth and predictable, with a noticeable punch once you get to the higher revs. But all in all, the bike has a very relaxed nature. It's definitely not as boisterous as the Ducati Multistradas, but it certainly does have a charm to it, which has a lot to do with its buttery smooth power delivery. All in all, the bike has a very relaxed nature about it. It may not be as sporty as the Ducati Multistradas, but it certainly has its own charm, which has a lot to do with that buttery smooth inline triple engine. And the electronics are finally on par with the other large displacement adventure tourers. Although this Tiger is certainly a more road-biased bike. Despite it coming with heavy-duty 19 and 17-inch rims that have spokes on a central ridge to allow for tubeless tires, the Tiger doesn't feel very off-road friendly. It tends to feel quite front-heavy when off-road, although it could certainly manage some trail riding, not the more technical stuff. While the Metzeler Touran's next tires work brilliantly on the road, they leave a bit to be desired off it. So while it can handle a bit of light off-roading, this is a bike that shines on open highways and twisty mountain roads. Overall, the tweaks to the frame, engine, electronics and ergonomics are definitely noticeable, and they do manage to make the Tiger a very rider-friendly machine. At 18,75,000 rupees, the Triumph Tiger Explorer is a shade more expensive than the Ducati Multistrada Enduro and the BMW R1200 GSA. But the levels of refinement are exquisite. So if you're looking to conquer continents or simply find your own adventure touring nirvana, you should definitely get aside this beast and see how friendly it is.